The world is holding its breath tonight. Amazon, the colossal giant of e-commerce and logistics, has done the unthinkable. It's unplugging from the United States supply chain. This isn't a threat or a bluff, it's a calculated move with global consequences. The shockwave is immediate, rippling through the American economy and the entire web of global trade. What happens when the nation's largest delivery network walks away? We're about to find out. This is more than a corporate dispute, it's a saga of politics, power, and the future of the global economy. Imagine the central hub of America's logistics network suddenly removed. That's the scale of this crisis. For years, Amazon was the lifeblood of American logistics, a symbol of innovation and dominance. Now that symbol is charting a new course, bypassing its home country. The decision, announced this morning, has sent markets into chaos and left the White House scrambling. The implications reach into every corner of American life: jobs, national security, and the relationship between government and corporate power. Can a company become more powerful than the country that birthed it? Amazon's move forces us to confront this question. For the world, this signals a realignment of global trade and a warning that the economic landscape is fracturing in real time. Tonight, we'll take you inside this unprecedented story, from shuttered warehouses to frantic political meetings. We'll analyze the fallout and hear from experts on the long-term consequences. The story of Amazon's great American exodus is the story of our time. To grasp the crisis, you must understand Amazon's deep integration with the American supply chain. For over 2 decades, Amazon didn't just use the US logistics network, it built a new one. Starting with books and the Postal Service, Amazon grew into a sprawling empire of fulfillment centers and delivery stations. This infrastructure became the backbone of the American consumer experience. Amazon's blue vans, cargo planes, and trucks became a daily sight, reshaping expectations for speed and efficiency. The US provided the market and infrastructure. Amazon became a critical economic engine and major employer. Its logistics network was so advanced, it began handling shipping for third-party sellers, even competing with FedEx and UPS. This partnership defined American commerce, but also created a profound dependency. Small businesses built their livelihoods on Amazon's Fulfilled by Amazon program. Consumers grew used to near-instant delivery. This dependency is now a vulnerability. The American economy and daily life became reliant on Amazon's network. Now that tapestry is being aggressively unraveled. The threads connect to nearly every aspect of American life. The sudden withdrawal exposes just how much was built on Amazon's foundation. The consequences are only beginning to unfold. The split between Amazon and the US government didn't happen overnight. Years of escalating tension over regulation, taxes, and antitrust concerns set the stage. The first major fracture appeared during Trump's first term, with public attacks on Amazon and its founder Jeff Bezos. Accusations of tax avoidance and exploiting the Postal Service fueled a confrontational tone. After Trump's return to office, the America First Logistics Act targeted e-commerce giants with new taxes and strict regulations. Amazon saw this as an existential threat to its global business model. The rhetoric escalated. They will either play by our rules or they won't play here at all. Amazon responded by investing billions in logistics hubs outside the US, building a parallel network. The final straw came when the administration froze a portion of Amazon's US assets, citing national security concerns. For Amazon's board, this crossed a red line. The government had weaponized its regulatory power. The decision to exit was no longer a question of if, but when. The slow divorce became a sudden, messy reality. The announcement came this morning, not in a press conference, but in a stark press release. The headline: Amazon announces phased suspension of US domestic fulfillment and transportation services. Citing an unpredictable regulatory environment and direct government actions, Amazon declared its intent to withdraw. Effective immediately, no new US-based third-party sellers will be accepted. Over the next 90 days, domestic deliveries for non-essential goods will wind down, with logistics redirected to Canada and Mexico. AWS cloud commitments will be honored, but the physical US logistics network will be divested. CEO Andy Jassy stated, "We must prioritize the stability of our global network and our shareholders." The reaction was instant. Stock markets plunged, the dollar fell, and competitors' websites crashed under a surge of panicked traffic. Social media exploded with disbelief and anxiety. For millions, the news was personal. Small business owners faced sudden uncertainty, and Amazon employees received layoff notices. The announcement was not just economic news, It was a direct threat to financial security for countless Americans. The river of commerce had stopped. The day had finally arrived. The fallout was immediate and profound. The White House was blindsided. Leaked audio from an emergency cabinet meeting captured President Trump's fury. They did what? They can't do that. Freeze everything they own. The administration's aggressive tactics had backfired spectacularly. Publicly, officials scrambled to project control, but the cracks were obvious. The press secretary deflected questions, insisting all options are on the table. Trump took to social media, calling Amazon's leadership traitors and vowing to build a bigger American delivery service. The political fallout was immediate. Trump's party was divided. Hardliners wanted to seize Amazon's assets, moderates warned of economic disaster. Democrats accused the president of reckless governance, blaming his vendetta for harming millions. The crisis exposed a fundamental miscalculation. Amazon was no longer just a domestic entity. In the 21st century, a multinational like Amazon can operate as a transnational power. The president tried to cage a tiger, only to find the tiger could leave. The balance of power had shifted. The consequences of Amazon's withdrawal are cascading through the economy. The supply chain is in chaos. UPS, FedEx, and USPS are overwhelmed. Shipping costs are skyrocketing. Delivery times are stretching to weeks. Small businesses reliant on Fulfilled by Amazon find their inventory stranded and sales halted. For many, it's a mass extinction event. Mass layoffs have begun. Amazon was one of the largest private employers in the country. State unemployment systems are straining under the pressure. The crisis is fueling political polarization. Supporters blame Amazon, critics blame the administration. For consumers, life is about to get more expensive and less convenient. The era of cheap, fast delivery is over. Shortages and higher prices are the new normal. This is not a temporary disruption. It's a fundamental reordering of the American economy. The shockwaves from Amazon's decision are global. Canada and Mexico, immediate beneficiaries, now face U.S. pressure to reject Amazon's advances. The Trump administration threatens tariffs and border restrictions, forcing a diplomatic balancing act. For Europe and Asia, Amazon's exodus signals declining American stability. International investors are wary. If this can happen to Amazon, no company feels secure. The world is now questioning how to regulate corporations that can outmaneuver even superpowers. We turn to experts for perspective. Dr. Ananya Sharma, MIT, likens Amazon's exit to removing a CPU from a computer. Disruption will last years. Dr. David Chen, Counsel on Foreign Relations, says the government overplayed its hand, driving Amazon to act. Power now lies in creating stable environments for global capital, not just wielding legal authority. Dr. Evelyn Reed, former Treasury Secretary, warns the real damage is to America's reputation as a safe investment. Amazon's exit signals risk to foreign capital, weakening the dollar and raising inflation. Dr. Marcus Thorne, technology ethicist, says this is the result of letting corporations rival nation-states. A single board decision now affects millions and challenges democratic authority. This is a wake-up call for a global conversation about corporate power. The consequences are only beginning. Tonight we stand at a crossroads. Amazon's departure is a mirror reflecting deep fractures in our economy and politics. The future is uncertain. Millions of jobs and the world's largest economy hang in the balance. The relationship between government and industry is shattered. Decisions made now will shape the landscape for a generation. This crisis demands leadership and cooperation, not rhetoric. We must support workers and small businesses, invest in resilient infrastructure, and re-engage in good faith dialogue. For all watching, this is a moment for engagement, not despair. Stay informed, seek credible information, and understand the forces at play. This story affects the price of goods, job security, and the future of our society. The journey of Amazon and America has reached a dramatic turning point. The path ahead is unwritten. It depends on the choices we make. Stay engaged. The story is far from over.